Hi everyone, welcome to Soul Stories with Kate Mazaris. This is my first video and I'm so happy to share this channel with you. Soul Stories is about sharing stories from our lives that are rich and meaningful, inspirational, sometimes sad, but always stories that help us to grow as individuals and to evolve as people. So today's story is called The Real Thing. And it's just a simple little story about how can we know what's real in our lives with AI becoming such a prevalent force in our technology. It's hard to know what's real and what's not. I'm a huge proponent of research. I don't take anything at face value. And so I try to find reputable sources of information to get some facts about what I'm seeing. I did hear that there's a country, I want to say it's like either Sweden or Finland, where they actually teach kids in school how to spot fake AI, which I think is so important in this day and age. So many people are gaslit or tricked by things that are not real. And I think it's so important to know how to discern that for ourselves. So I'm just going to start this story. A few weeks ago, a friend of mine was asking me about how would she know if a job she was interviewing for is the right one for her. And I said to her, you are really good at discerning things with your physical being. I reminded her of a meeting that we were at over the summer with a person who was emotionally manipulating the group, and I was totally unaware of it because I was too busy trying to take care of the emotions of the person who was speaking. But my friend knew that this person, the only reason that they were crying is because they got caught in something that was inappropriate, and we all knew it. And so she didn't say anything at the meeting, but later, maybe a month or so later, we were talking and she pointed out her viewpoint. And lo and behold, months later, the pattern of behavior repeated itself. And of course, she was right. And so I told her, I said, when you go into this interview, feel your body. You'll know exactly where the truth is going to hit you in your guts, in your heart, in your head, wherever it is. You will know. She says, well, the first interview is on the phone. And I said, well, then you just get real quiet in yourself. And as you listen to the tone of voice or you listen to the words, you'll know. And so the um, the interview process progressed from the phone interview. She got an in-person interview, and lo and behold, she felt that the job was a good one for her, and she's well on her way to starting that new position. So for her, it's to run things through her physical body, and for many of us, we've kind of lost touch with that. I think that's one of the reasons why teaching yoga is such an important part of my life, is because it helps me to stay in touch with the intuitive nature of my body. Many of us just kind of check out, especially when we are on our phones or watching videos or whatever. And so it's important to check in to our physical being to know in our bodies what's true for us and what's not. A lot of times our mind will trick us into thinking something's true, but our bodies will never lie. They will never, never lie. I'm reminded of a song by Kenny Loggins that he put out in his Leap of Faith album called The Real Thing. And the song is about a, a father talking to his daughter about the imminent divorce of her parents. And the chorus says something like, there's only one thing you can never give up or compromise on, and that's the real thing you need in love. And in this day and age, for me personally, I feel like while I've always been an honest person, I want to be really honest now. I don't want to speak on something unless I know the facts. I don't want to put out an opinion unless I know as many sides of what's going on as I can. And then I run it through my physical body, just like I encouraged my friend to do, because our bodies will tell us. I've had conversations with people lately where I can see the split in them. It's unconscious in their awareness, I think, but they have a mindset that doesn't jive with what's happening in their physical reality. And you can see them trying to rectify and scramble around these two experiences, the reality of the moment and what they're trying to hammer in their mind or their belief system. It's really, and it's sad to see it sometimes because I definitely think it's an unconscious struggle, but it's one that I don't feel it's important for me to point out because I don't know that they would understand it. But I'm going to finish this video with just a very simple story that happened right before Christmas. I walked in to the gym that I go to frequently throughout the week. And as I was checking in, I turned around and in the downstairs lobby of our gym is a physical therapy area. And there was an elderly couple sitting by the wall, and there was a little boy sitting on the man's lap, and he was waving at me enthusiastically with both hands, just waving. So I turned, and as I was walking toward the locker room, I stopped in front of him. He was probably a little tiny thing, maybe 3 or 4. And I knelt in front of him, and he grabbed both of my hands and looked me right in the eye with this big grin on his face. And I smiled at him, and he started rubbing my fingernails, and I had painted them red, bright red for Christmas. And he didn't say anything, so I asked him what his name was. And his grandmother told me his name. She said it was Darryl, which is not his real name, but she said it was Darryl. And I said, "Well, hi, Darryl, how are you?" And he kept rubbing my fingernails and smiling. And I said, "Yeah, those are red for Christmas." And he was bouncing up and down. The grandmother explained to me that he was nonverbal, that he was 3 years old. I just had this wonderful conversation with him. Whatever I would say to him, his body would respond with pure joy. And in that 2-minute conversation, that little boy made my day because that was the real thing. When we connect with people on a real level, when we can slow down enough to recognize these quiet moments of connection, compassion. Of course, children, they can't lie. I mean, their bodies just can't lie, especially when they're that young. Um, that just made my day. And it helped me to understand that even in the midst of information that may or may not be true, if I slow down enough and I slow down in my body enough and I come home to myself, every moment, every single moment, I can find something real. So, in this, as we share stories on this channel, I hope that you find the real thing, that you find some real connection within yourself and in your community. And feel free to reach out to me in the comment section or by email. I look forward to hearing from you. So until we meet again, I wish you peace.